Hello everybody, I'm Serta and welcome back to Planet Crafter. We have a new update in the development branch and we also have the release date for this new update. And I'll also answer some frequently asked questions that the devs have answered, and we're going to travel to a new moon. So lots to do, let's get stuck in. First thing we're going to do, we're going to go and look at this, and we now have Aquilus, and it is a water planet. And there are a whole bunch of things to unlock. T2 wind turbines, phosphorus, we can now make quasar, T3 fertilizer, Pimelia seeds, T2 outdoor farm, oh wow, that's cool. T3 butterfly farm, another fish egg, T2 fish farm, awesome, another frog egg, animal multiplier fuse, and T3 animal food, oh, another use for silkworms. Fantastic, those ecosystems are going to be very important. Final terraformation on this one is 7 TTI. There are a few terraforming stages that are different from the others, so we start at submerged. I actually can't read what that is, but we'll find out. Corals, seismic shocks, water plants, breathable atmosphere, natural life. Okay, so we actually have to expose land. That's interesting. So Aquilus looks fun, but before we go there, we also now have the ability to make a T5 jetpack. Oh, I'm going to definitely make that. Oh, this is nice. It is super quick. Wow. You can get some whiplash flying this thing around. Fantastic. Now, there's also a new harvesting robot. Let's see what that's all about. All right, I don't see where to make the harvesting robot from. Perhaps we need to unlock it first. T2 information rockets show organic and fish location markers on the map. I'll probably have to launch one of those because I haven't. All right, now we have the T2 insect spreader rocket. Oh, that's also new. Okay, we had the T2 heat, oxygen, and heat pressure and plant multipliers, so that's fine. Drone visualization, T2 map information, that is the one. So let's launch that and let's go and see what difference it's made. Nice looking rocket. Awesome. So on the map, I see, oh, there we go. There's some fish eggs over there. All right, we might have to go to another planet to see more details, but yep, we got that. And they've done a few other fixes, but we have a new moon to have a look at, so let's go. I'll make myself an interplanetary travel rocket. I think I've achieved everything that I need to get to the next planet, so that shouldn't be a problem. And we will go to Aquilus. Yes, this will be our first look at it. Well, game crashed when I was trying to leave, so let's try that again. Yep, development branch, you know, these things happen. And we have arrived. After another crash, I had to go and verify the integrity of my game files, and we got here. Look at that. So we land on what looks like one of the very few small patches of growth. This is going to be challenging because you're going to need to get everything going in a bit of a small space. I imagine this space will improve. That's interesting. So instead of increasing the water level, chances are you're going to have to reduce the water level. Anyway, let's get a little bit of infrastructure up so we can actually start terraforming. Obviously, most important things like heaters. We don't have any power, so I will, oh yes, I'm going to need to put down. Now remember, I am playing in creative mode. You'd have to be a lot more prepared to do this than I am currently, but I have the benefit of not having to have materials on me. So we'll get some power, make everything happy. And on the ground, we actually, oh, this is sulfur. Yeah, it doesn't, yeah, I'm sure they'll fix that. Pretty sure that's supposed to be phosphorus. So we'll get a second one of those done, and then I'll find a nice spot. Oh, this jetpack is great. Find a nice spot for the drills and just pop a couple down over here. Perfect. All right, so that's got our terraforming index started, and we actually have achieved a level. So let's build the terraformation screen and see what it does. Okay, that's that. So yeah, we're obviously going to need to do something about oxygen. And I think the T2 biodome is the best way to get that going. So that's in. Put a door on it. All right, now we should have oxygen building as well. Let's have a look at this screen. All right, everything is moving. We've even got some biomass. So we'll get the progress screen as well and just pop it in next to it. And we're going from submerged to seismic activity very quickly. Okay, so I think maybe I need to build one of these solar system things and have a closer look at it. Aquilus. Okay, so it was seismic activity and then seismic shocks. And once we're done with seismic activity, we will get corals. And things are moving along. But yeah, that's what the world looks like. It's not a lot to look at the moment. I am not sure if there's anything to go and investigate. everything might be submerged, which is an interesting mechanic in itself. I mean, we could just stand here and look out at stunning place. The water looks brilliant. Absolutely stunning. But I'm not going to run too much into details and try and build this thing up to the end. This is more of a news video. I will build a blueprint screen because I don't know if there are new things that need to be unlocked. No, I think we've passed the point where they need to be unlocked, unless there are nothing required on the biomass side either. And everything is unlocked over here as well. So we'll get one of these crafting stations for the quartz. Right, so you can make insect multiplier, animal multiplier, trade rocket fuses, fuse cartridges, and all of the quartzes except for the magnetar, which is the purple one. So we can't make the purple one. That one is still something we have to find, which leaves things open for another update in the future. But let's have a look at the map. There are lava over there. There's silkworms over here. Bioplastic. That's interesting. We can find bioplastic. More eggs, fish eggs all over the place. And the map's pretty large, and there is a landmass out here. I don't really see anything, but these atolls look very nice. And there is this. Oh, is that selenium again? Okay, we can't access that. Maybe I'm missing something. Where's the phosphorus? Because this looks like phosphorus, but it says sulfur. Maybe that's something that's still being worked on. I am going to need an escape rocket, so I might as well build one of those. So, yep, we'll have the extraction platform over there. Yeah, there's quite a lot to this. We are already at seismic activity, and we've started on corals. So it's quite an interesting thing. As far as the frequently asked questions go, is this update going to be free? Yes. You need to start a new game? No, you can continue with an old save. You can go from Prime to Humble and to the moons. I plan on doing the opposite to that when I start my playthrough. I already have an established base on Humble. I'm going to go to Prime, and then I'm going to tackle the moons. But I'm going to do them almost simultaneously because there are resources I want from all of them. You don't need the Humble DLC to play. You can play on just from Prime to the moons. And then one that's come up quite a lot is if you're playing co-op, can people be on different planets? The answer to that is no. Everybody needs to be on the same planet or moon. And yes, if you are on a moon or on a planet, production, terraforming, extraction, autocrafting, everything continues on the other planets. And then the last one, if you started a playthrough on Prime and another one on Humble, you will not be able to merge the save files. So choose one and then work your way through it. The cool thing is, you can travel between the planets with all the technology that you've previously unlocked. So it's not as if you're starting the planet from fresh and you've got to get new backpack and oxygen tanks and all of that stuff. Everything that you've previously had will stay with you when you go to the moons. Now, that's about it as far as the FAQs go. But the big announcement is that this update will be available on the 19th of May. And I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. I will definitely be doing a playthrough. I've already prepped my Humble planet. I'm going to go from Humble to Prime, and then shortly after going to Prime, I'm also going to hit the moons. So I will be doing like 3 of them simultaneously. I think I have the resources. Might have to do a little bit more collecting, but it should be interesting, especially on Selenia, because on Selenia there's a story, and we're going to need to get into that, and I'm not sure if there's a story on this planet. We will know once the water subsides. If the water subsides, that is. We'll find out. But that's all I got for you on this one. I hope you're excited as I am. This is going to be great. Release date, 19th of May, 2025. So mark your calendars. If you like this video, give us a like. If you want to see my stuff more, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. Leave me your comments. Let me know your thoughts on this as I fly over to another little island. There's a lot of resources here. Some clams. Open clam. Oh, look at that. Well, that's something I didn't expect. And there's more things. So the clams on this planet actually hold stuff. Well, I suppose I should explore a little bit more, and I will. I'm going to keep some of it secret. There's even more clams over here. And I did go underwater, and there's nothing to see yet. But thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, cheers!